Is it even possible to get work-life balance as a pharmacist? And the short answer is no. It is. It is impossible, but probably not for the reasons that you think. And in this video, I want to share work-life balance hacks that have made my life and thousands of other pharmacists' life much easier. Some are quick and simple things, and others are big strategies and ideas to help you make life a little bit easier. If you're watching this and you also love life hacks or those kinds of things, I would love it if you would share it in the comments what has helped you make your life so much easier. The first thing that I need to share with you, and it's the reason why balance is impossible, is because work-life balance already presupposes what's called a zero-sum game. And the concept here is very simple. It's that ultimately someone loses. In work-life balance, it implies that life is everything outside of work. And let's be honest, if your loved one, your mother, father, partner, child, if all of a sudden they were in insane amount of danger or harm or had a medical emergency, would you be balanced and wait till your shift's over to address the issue? No. Unless you're Scrooge, okay? That ain't gonna happen. You'd be a weirdo, and you got other issues to work on, okay? In most cases, everyone knows that life, family, our loved ones is way more important than work, and yet we put those two things in our American society, in our work-based culture, on the same playing field. Balance is not what to try to go for. Instead, what I want you to adopt is integration. How to create synergy from both work and life so that they feed into each other so splendidly. The reason why I'm even an entrepreneur is because of this synergy. I discovered a long time ago what I really loved about pharmacy was teaching. I love advising. I love mentoring. It is what sets my heart ablaze. But I did not feel like I could do that in my current ambulatory care role. It just wasn't for me. Instead, I decided the best way to have an integration of a work life that I love is to consume myself with that kind of work all of the time. That will feed and give me energy into the other areas of my life. I mean, just to kind of like show you what's possible when you go this route instead, is you get to create a life you really love. For the last 4 months, you may have noticed it in some of my videos. The previous couple of videos, I was in Texas with palm trees behind me, enjoying a lovely warm winter. Now I'm back in Michigan, where it's still in the high 60s. It's actually not been very great. But I'm able to do that because I'm remote, because I own my business, because I have the freedom to choose where and when I want to work and on the things that I want to work. Now, I'm not saying that everyone needs to go into business for himself. What I'm saying instead is that when your work is something that you absolutely love, like everything about it is all consuming and it's great, work feeds into your life and life feeds into your work. Integration should be what you seek. Whether it's a job or a business or something else, they feed into the rest of your life. You know you don't have work-life balance or integration when you feel drained all the time by your work, when you're dreading to go in. I mean, maybe you didn't learn this in pharmacy school, but I remember for a fact everyone saying like, oh, guess when the most common time to have a heart attack? It's Monday morning, right before people go into work. And that is the key component here. You cannot balance out 8 hours every day, 5 days a week with work, and then sleeping ideally 7 to 8 hours a day, and then the rest of the time you're driving, you're eating, you're preparing food, you're preparing for the next day, you're hanging out with family. It won't work. It never will work. And it's why so many pharmacists are burnt out and tired because they're trying to fit it all in and they can't. Whenever I talk to a pharmacist and I just hear about the stress that they're dealing with, I'm like, you need a 3-week vacation to not do anything. You need to stop. You need to slow down. And that leads me into the first thing that I recommend everyone do to find your integration is to pause. The key to fixing burnout and stress is to not do more with less. That's why you're in the situation you're in. It's what your company is trying to do to you to overwork you. It's why our society is kind of running on this weird steam of overconsumption, overbuying. By doing less, by pausing, you invite in new opportunities, new perspectives. I have been pausing every day. I used to have this mentality when I was working full time and building my business. And even when for the first few years of my business, I was go, 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 do, be fast. I was a human doing, not a human being. And I learned by pausing in the morning, I have found centeredness and I make better decisions. Lately, what I've been doing actually is I've been using my notes app on my phone to open up a blank page and I just write out whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm working on, thinking about, feeling, relationships, and I just let it flow. And by pausing, I invite reflection and better decision making for the rest of the day. The second thing that I recommend people do in order to get better integration is task batching. Some of my community pharmacists here are already hating this advice because they just know that it's impossible. And I'm sad that you feel that way. And I'm sad your manager won't allow you to batch your tasks. But it has just been scientifically proven over and over again that it takes mental energy for your brain to switch from one task to another. And over time, it makes you less efficient. It makes you more prone to making mistakes. Just to give you a case in point, whenever I record these videos, I batch them all together. I don't make one video a week. I try to make as many videos as possible, all in the same time, because I'm in that headspace. I've done the prepping. I've done all the things that I needed to do to make this video. And so I do as many as I possibly can. You're more efficient when you batch those things together. So you can do that with your work, but you can also do that in other areas of your life. Batching meal prep, batching tasks together, getting all of those things done at once versus slowly doing them over time makes everything that much more effective. The third thing I'd recommend are boundaries. I remember working with one pharmacist who was in the community setting, floating, and her manager had manipulated her to the point where she basically tricked the manager tricked the pharmacist to think that she was lucky to be at this pharmacy. He would say things like, "Oh, you better be so thankful that I have you here at this store. You should be thanking me that you're not having to work at X store with this problem, or they just got robbed. Aren't you so glad you're here?" Manipulative garbage like that doesn't belong in the workplace. It got so bad that this pharmacist, unfortunately, was being treated like an Uber food delivery driver, okay? And no shame on that, but she's a pharmacist, and they were having her not only deliver food for them on her off time, but she would pay for the food. Boundaries are absolutely needed in relationships, with your workplace. If you have the problem of checking your work email, outside of work time, you have a boundary problem, and it is causing you harm. Look, You can justify, say like, oh, I need to check these things. No, you don't. Work has placed that demand on you, and you've accepted it without questioning. Something that I love seeing in Gen Z right now coming into the workplace is like typically they're not having it. If you want me to check your after hours work email, you can pay me for that time. You can have me on call and it's going to cost you this much more. Heck to the yeah. Okay, I'm trying not to swear. Having powerful boundaries and saying no, you cannot treat me this way. You cannot force me to do this. I did not sign a contract up for this thing. It allows you to make things so much easier because you get to say no powerfully. And if you get fired, that's like the worst case scenario. And it's probably a good thing because you don't want to work for jerks like that anyway. I'm noticing it's getting harder and harder for me in these videos to like not swear because I get so mad at these beautiful, intelligent pharmacists who get into these positions where they're just treated like hot garbage. There's no class in college that teaches you how to have a backbone, and that's difficult. That's really difficult. The next big hack that I would love to give you is to use ChatGPT for everything. Your therapist, your emotional processor, your idea generator, your brain dumping buddy, your resume reader, your ego boost, whatever. I have learned that whenever I'm alone in the car, I love getting ChatGPT out and just having a fun conversation. I love saying, hey, prompt me with some fun questions about what I can do with my family. I have learned how to schedule in time with it, and it gives me such wonderful, rich ideas. To be frank with you, I use ChatGPT to help me overcome my mental blocks about moving to Texas during the winter months because I would reason away things like, oh, we own our home and I don't want to have to pay rent again, and I like, why is it worth it, and all of these things. Using ChatGPT in conversation mode, which is a pro feature, I have learned to verbally process things and overcome my own hangups that allowed me to enjoy my best life. When we were down in Texas, I was telling my wife, this is probably one of the best things we've ever done for our marriage. You're happier. Your seasonal affective disorder is like in remission. You have energy. I'm happier. I'm feeling better. So many amazing things can be done with ChatGPT to make your life so much easier. And I'm just scratching the surface here. The next big thing is to remove resistance. If you're trying to start a new habit, if you're trying to make better choices for yourself, usually the big thing that stops people from making big changes is resistance. For me, it's really easy to justify to not do things like working out in particular. I'm not the kind of guy who enjoys going for a hike or team sports. Like, I'm uncoordinated physically, and I'm competitive. So it's a recipe for not wanting to play, for not exercising. Because if I'm not the best, then I'm not even going to try. So what I do is I remove resistance to doing the thing. I get my workout clothes ready for the next day on my dresser. So all I have to do is get up, put that on, and I'm in the mode. I'm going to go work out. I do calisthenics, and I've got a rowing machine behind this very camera. So removing resistance around whatever you're trying to do makes it so much easier. Maybe you have resistance about asking your partner for help. Maybe it's about asking your manager for something. I don't know. But whatever it is, try to find what are the small things that I can do that can trigger a difficult conversation that needs to be had. How can I trick myself into adopting this habit? I love the concept of rewards and consequences for removing resistance. So hey, I need to network. Okay. And I need to meet new people. Okay, great. Set a task before you. Text one person a day. That's it. You have probably hundreds of people in your contact list. Text one of them once a day. If you do that for a week or heck, even a day, give yourself a small reward. I'll eat a cookie. Um, I'll, uh, or give a consequence. If I don't message someone today, then I got to do 10 burpees. I was just at a retreat 2 weekends ago, and I met this guy who his consequence for eating really tasty sweets was doing 10 burpees, and it was just fun to watch him acknowledge that, like, okay, I'm doing this, but in order to counteract it, I'm doing this. So the final thing that I will recommend, and this is honestly for people who are employed, is to hire out. Look, excuse me, I don't know your financial situation. I know you've got bills, college debt, house, car loans, all of these things. And I understand that um, you got to do what makes you happy too with your money. You need to spend it on something that makes you happy. I think hiring out is one of the best things that you can do for your mental sanity. Hiring out for a cleaner once a month, have them clean your house so that you don't have to. Hire someone out for tasks. There's things like TaskRabbit where you can hire people out to put together IKEA furniture. Like if that's something that would drive you crazy like me, and if I didn't have my wife who's very handy, that's what I would be doing. I have a virtual assistant who handles things that I hate doing, whether it's emailing someone, reminding people, scheduling things on my calendar, or even like travel arrangements. These things cause so much mental drainage on my life that I love delegating those things out of my life. The final thing that I'll recommend for you to get integration is to eliminate the things that drain you. As a habit I developed, I track all of my time when it comes to work. And I do things on two different spectrums. I track the amount of money that I'm making from the activity on a scale of 1 to 4. And then I track my energy from energy giving to neutral to draining. And at the end of about every quarter, I do a time audit analysis where I look at what am I working on and is it producing the greatest value and am I energized by the activity? In this moment, it's an energizing thing. I really, really enjoy it. Am I making money doing from this? Not necessarily directly. I'm getting the message out there into the world. I'm meeting new people. You're watching it. We do have ads on these things. It's like $4 a week at this rate, so it's not a ton of money. And so by knowing what is giving me energy and what's draining me, I try to eliminate, delegate, or systematize the things that drain me. You probably have so many things in your life that you're not even aware of, or maybe you slightly are the things that drain you. And I would love for you to write in the comments, what do you need to eliminate? What do you need to drain? What do you need to systematize? Like buy a software that makes everything easier, or hire out, delegate it to someone else, or ask a partner, a friend to help you with something. Whatever it is, there's a solution for your problem. Probably. So those are my work-life integration hacks. These are some of the things that have made my life so much simpler, so much more affordable. I mean, I've been in therapy many times over the last 10 years, and I love going in for tune-ups, but because I've been like brain dumping my emotions to ChatGPT, I haven't paid for therapy in like over a year. Remember, this is not a medical or therapeutical channel, and I, of course, a good therapist is worth their weight in gold if you have serious problems. Luckily, I don't at the moment, so it's give and take. What are your hacks to making your life easier? Please share them with others, as I think we need to be more collaborative in pharmacy. It's my vision that we've got a profession where people are bragging about how great of a job in life we have. Clearly, that's not the state that we're in, but I know that if I surround myself with more pharmacists who love what they do and who they are, I can make that vision a reality. Thanks for watching this video. Until I see you in the next one, stay curious and take care.